In that periodic properties, already I have explained two periodic properties, atomic radius and ionization potential. Now I am going to explain electron affinity. Electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. Electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy means the amount of energy liberated when one electron is added to the valency orbit of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity. If X is a neutral atom, neutral gaseous atom, to the valence orbit of that X, if one electron is added, then its uni-negative ion is formed and energy will be liberated. That liberated energy is electron affinity, EA. Or same reaction we can write like this also. Gaseous X plus electron gives rise to gaseous X minus ion delta H is equal to minus electron affinity. Energy will be liberated. So this is exothermic process. Ionization potential is endothermic process, but this electron affinity is exothermic process. This is also called first electron affinity, EA1. First electron affinity, the amount of energy liberated when one electron is added to the valence orbit of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called electron affinity. Second electron affinity means X minus plus electron gives rise to X minus 2. Gaseous X minus plus electron gives rise to gaseous X minus 2 is formed, but this is endothermic process. This is endothermic process. Second electron affinity is always endothermic. Second electron affinity is always endothermic. Very, very important point. EA2 is endothermic process. When one electron is added, energy will be liberated. To add one more electron into valence orbit of uni-negative ion, energy will be required because this uni-negative ion carries negative charge, electron also carries negative charge. Between these two, there is strong repulsion. So energy will be required. That's why second electron affinity is always endothermic. IP of neutral atom is equal to electron affinity of its anion. IP of neutral atom is equal to electron affinity of its cation. IP of neutral atom is equal to electron affinity of its cation. That means to remove the electron from the valence orbit, energy required is IP. When one electron is added to the valence orbit of M plus, same amount of energy will be liberated. Both are equal. To remove the electron from the valence orbit of M, energy will be required. That required energy is IP. Energy is required, so plus IP. When one electron is added to the valence orbit of M plus, energy will be liberated. That is electron affinity minus CA. Both are equal in magnitudes but opposite in sign. Similarly, electron affinity of neutral atom X is equal to IP of its anion. IP of its anion. Electron affinity of neutral atom X is equal to IP of its anion. Energy liberated when one electron is added to the valence orbit of X is equal to energy required to remove the electron from the valence orbit of x minus. Both are equal in magnitude. Energy liberated when one electron is added to the valence orbit of x is equal to energy required to remove the electron from the valence orbit of x minus. Both are equal in magnitude but opposite in sign. Next, variation of electron affinity. Variation of electron affinity. See, first in periods. In periods, in general, electron affinity increases. In periods, atomic size decreases. As atomic size decreases, tendency to gain the electron increases. So electron affinity increases. In groups it decreases in general. Generally in periods, electron affinity increases. In groups, it decreases. But there are some exceptions. See, for these elements, for beryllium, magnesium, nitrogen, and for zero group elements, for these elements, electron affinity is always positive. Beryllium, magnesium, nitrogen, and for zero group elements, electron affinity is always positive. A is positive. For remaining all the elements, electron affinity is negative. Only in case of these elements, to add the electron or to enter the electron, energy will be required. In general, in groups, it decreases, but in case of p block elements, if we take these elements, 7th A group elements, first it increases, thereafter decreases. In general, in groups, it decreases, but in case of p block elements, first it increases, thereafter decreases. For fluorine, electron affinity is minus 333 kilojoules, but for chlorine, minus 348 kilojoules. When one electron is added to the valence orbit of fluorine, 333 kilojoules of energy will be liberated. But in case of chlorine, 348 kilojoules of energy will be liberated. So more amount of energy will be liberated. Thereafter decreases. Not only 7th A group elements, even in 6th A group elements also like that. Oxygen to sulfur increases, thereafter decreases. In general, it decreases, but in case of p block elements, from first element to second element, first increase, thereafter decrease. This is electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. Next one, electronegativity. Electronegativity. Tendency of an atom to attract the bonding electron pair more towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. The tendency of an element to attract the bonding electron pair more towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. If we take one heteroatomic molecule, HCl, in HCl between hydrogen and chlorine covalent bond is present. To form these bonds, hydrogen contributes one electron, even chlorine also contributes one electron, but that bonding electron pair is partially more closer to the chlorine. That bonding electron pair is not present exactly between hydrogen and chlorine. It is more closer to chlorine. That means here we can say that when compared to hydrogen, chlorine has more tendency to attract the electrons. That tendency of an atom is called electronegativity. The tendency of an atom to attract the bonding electron pair more towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. It is relative property. Electronegativity is relative property. That electronegativity can be measured by using two scales. First one is Mulliken scale. Mulliken scale. According to Mulliken, electronegativity is equal to IP plus EA by 2. Electronegativity of the element is equal to average of its ionization potential and electron affinity. But this formula is valid only for monovalent atoms. This formula is valid only for monovalent atoms like alkali metals and halogens. So next, Pauling proposed another scale. Pauling scale. According to Pauling, XA minus XB is equal to 0.208 into root delta, or XA minus XB is equal to 0.102 into root delta. Here XA and XB are electronegativities of the elements. Delta is polarity of the bonds. This formula is when polarity, this delta is expressed in kilocalories per mole. Kilocalories per mole. This formula in kilojoules per mole. Here XA and XB are electronegativities of the elements. Delta is polarity of the bonds. It indicates polarity of the bonds. The delta is equal to formula EAB minus half into EAA plus EBB. The delta is equal to AB bond energy. This EAB means AB bond energy minus half into AA bond energy plus BB bond energy. This scale was based on experimentally determined bond energy values. This is just a theoretical scale, but it depends on experimentally determined bond energy values. The relation between Mulliken scale and Pauling scale is electronegativity of the element on Pauling scale is equal to electronegativity of the element on Mulliken scale divided by 2.8. X means electronegativity. Electronegativity of the element on Pauling scale is equal to electronegativity of the element on Mulliken scale divided by 2.8. That means electronegativity values determined on Mulliken scale are 2.8 times more than Pauling scale. Later, this Mulliken gave another formula to calculate electronegativity of the elements. Mulliken gave another formula to calculate electronegativity of the elements on Pauling scale. That is En is equal to IP plus EA by 5.6. If these are expressed in electron volts per atom, if IP and electron affinity are expressed in electron volts per atom, this formula IP plus EA by 125. If these are expressed in kilocalories per mole, then this formula. If IP and electron affinity are expressed in kilocalories per mole, IP plus EA by 544. If these are expressed in kilojoules per mole, all these formulas are important. Next, periodic property. Periodicity of this electronegativity. Periodicity. Periodicity of electronegativity. In periods, it increases. In periods, electronegativity increases. Tendency of an atom to attract the electrons increases. In groups, it decreases. In periods increases, in groups decreases. But for zero group elements, electronegativity is 0 because already zero group elements have stable electron configuration. So for zero group elements, electronegativity is 0. So left to right increases, top to bottom decreases. Left to right increases means in the periodic table, seventh group elements. Seventh group elements have highest electronegativity value. In the periodic table, seventh group elements have highest electronegativity value. If we take second period elements, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. For zero group element 0, see left to right increases na? For lithium 1, for beryllium 1.5, for boron 2, for carbon 2.5, for nitrogen 3, for oxygen 3.5, for fluorine 4, for zero group element 0. Pauling was taken hydrogen as reference element, for hydrogen 2.1. For hydrogen 2.1, for second period elements, it increases 0.5, 1 to 4. 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. In the periodic table, halogens have highest electronegativity. In that halogens, fluorine has highest electronegativity. Its value on Pauling scale is 4. Second highest electronegative element in the periodic table is oxygen. Third highest element is chlorine. Its value 3.16. In the periodic table, first highest electronegative element is fluorine. Second element is oxygen. Third element is chlorine. Next, electropositivity. Tendency of an atom to lose the electrons is called electropositivity. Tendency of an atom to lose the electrons is called electropositivity. Periodicity of this electropositivity. In periods, it decreases. In groups, it increases. In periods, left to right, atomic size decreases. As atomic size decreases, tendency to lose the electrons decreases. But in groups, top to bottom, atomic size increases. As atomic size increases, tendency to lose the electrons increases. So in the periodic table, first A group elements, that is alkali metals. Alkali metals have highest electropositivity. Next, a periodic property. Metallic and non-metallic nature. Metallic and non-metallic nature. This metallic and non-metallic nature can be explained based on electronegativity and electropositivity. Metallic and non-metallic nature can be explained based on electronegativity and electropositivity. If an element has more electropositivity and less electronegativity, if an element has more electropositivity and less electronegativity, then that element will have more metallic character. If an element has more electropositivity and less electronegativity, then that element has more metallic character. If an element has less electropositivity and more electronegativity, then that element will have more non-metallic character. If an element has less electropositivity and more electronegativity, then that element will have more non-metallic character. Next, periodicity of metallic and non-metallic character means how it changes in periods and groups. See, first in periods. In periods, left to right, electropositivity decreases and electronegativity increases. In periods left to right, electropositivity decreases and electronegativity increases. Then metallic character decreases. Metallic nature decreases. At the same time, non-metallic nature increases. In periods left to right, metallic nature decreases and non-metallic nature increases. In groups, top to bottom, electropositivity increases and electronegativity decreases. Then metallic nature increases, non-metallic nature decreases. In groups, top to bottom, metallic nature increases and non-metallic nature decreases. So in the periodic table, alkali metals have more metallic character. Halogens have more non-metallic character. Next, acidic and basic nature of oxides. Acidic and basic nature of oxides. So in general, metal oxides are basic. Non-metal oxides are acidic. Semi-metals oxides are amphoteric. Metal oxides are basic, non-metal oxides are acidic, semi-metals oxides are amphoteric. Amphoteric means both acidic and basic character. If we take beryllium is metal only, but its oxide, that is beryllium oxide, is amphoteric only. In general, metal oxides are basic, but all the metal oxides are not basic. Beryllium, aluminium, even zinc, these are pure metals only, but their oxides are amphoteric only. Their oxides are amphoteric. Metal oxides are basic, no? So alkali metals have more metallic character. So their oxides have more basic character. 16th and 17th group elements have more non-metallic nature. Hence their oxides have more acidic character. Suppose if we take sodium, its oxide is sodium oxide. Sodium oxide has more basic character. If we take sodium oxide and potassium oxide, among these two, potassium has more metallic character. When compared to sodium, potassium metallic character is more. Potassium metallic character is more means potassium oxide has more basic character. If we take sulfur oxide and chlorine oxide, sulfur oxide is SO3, chlorine oxide Cl2O7. Among sulfur and chlorine has more non-metallic character. When compared to sulfur, chlorine has more non-metallic character. Non-metallic character more means its oxide acidic character will be more. So Cl2O7 has more acidic character than SO3. Arsenic, antimony, these are semi-metals. Arsenic and antimony are semi-metals. They are oxides. As2O3, Sb2O3. These are amphoteric. These two are non-metals. So, sorry, these two are semi-metals. Semi-metal oxides are amphoteric. Arsenic and antimony are semi-metals. Their oxides are amphoteric. These are the periodic properties.